What is up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you here today. We are driving home from work. It's been a while since we did a DDTG stock update video. Just doing those a lot back in 2020, right in the ups and downs. I'm still pretty solid on the stock market. I can honestly tell you that I've got more money invested than those days when I was first beginning. My portfolio, I've had some downs, but honestly, I've had more ups than downs. Honestly, 2020 was honestly pretty easy. Almost anything you bought, if you just wrote it out until 2021, we saw huge highs. 2021 is when it got really hard. I bought some WWE stock, I believe somewhere in the 40s. And when Vince first announced that he was going to sell the company and he was looking before the Endeavor deal went through, I sold WWE stock close to like 110. I believe it was probably somewhere around 108. I really didn't think that it was ever going to get any higher than it was at that point, and thought that it was the right time to pull the trigger. I ended up being wrong by a few bucks here or there. It rode up. I think the highest was like around 113, and it is what it is. I didn't make a ton of money, but I made some money, enough to brag about. And it was a pretty good investment for the time being. But it was one that I did really early on. I remember telling my buddies that I had bought it, and they said, "Well, at least you bought something that you know something about." And I was just trying to just stash money in my portfolio at the time, and I kind of never touched it. Once I put it in there, I never even really put any more on top of it on that one. But today, when the merger went through, TKO stock, Endeavor, I put money into that once again. I wanted to basically just be able to say that I was a day one investor, much like I still am with WWE. I bought one share of WWE stock, what was that, like 98? 99 when they first went public. I actually bought it from a site. I don't even know if it still runs. It's called One Share, Buy One Share, or something like that. And I just bought one share. They basically charge you double the price of what it is. I had no idea what I was doing at the time. WWE, honestly, because I bought a stock on the first day, they ended up sending me an investor booklet, which was like a real book, much like those encyclopedias that they were making back in the day. Not quite so big, but hardcover, really nice pictures. I don't know where that thing is today. I no doubt that I've lost it over the course of time. But it was pretty cool when it came in the mail. I thought it was something that I had bought, and it ended up just being something that WWE sent out that says like a thank you for being a minority owner in the company, I guess you could say. But I honestly believe, I don't think that I'm going to retire off of TKO stock, but I can honestly tell you that I think this for WWE is going to be better than a lot of people think it's going to be. I think that honestly they have a bigger company. I think they're going to be kept the majority separate, but I think if WWE and UFC wanted to do something with like their deals for television, or even like with their streaming, I can see them having a bigger push to get signed to a huge deal. I remember when WWE signed their monumental contracts with Fox and with UFC. They were for USA. They were way more deals than people thought they were going to be. They seemed like they were grossly overpaid for their television. But people see wrestling as they do as baseball or NASCAR. The numbers weren't so high, but it is must-see television. It's must-watch. It's something that most people don't stream and fast-forward through commercials. They watch it live. So the money that they are able to get from commercials, they know that people are just incredibly skipping them, and the people that give them money to run their commercials are going to get their money's worth out of them. So Some people thought as USA wanted to make sure that they were still the #1 cable network, and that was the reason why they overpaid to make sure that they kept them. I thought it was WWE kind of like they did have that time where they were on Spike for a while, but then they've mostly been with the USA Network since I was a kid. I would say that close to 40 years they probably had a good agreement between the two, I guess you can say. It's not even close to the word I'm thinking of, shit, I don't even know where I'm at anymore. But I wanted to say that I was a first day investor in TKO, and we'll have to see where they go from here. There was a little thing that slipped into the back of my mind. I follow Barstool Sports a lot. As of recently, they sold the company a while back, and Penn Entertainment, which was a gambling company, bought the company, and they ended up finding out they could get a better deal by signing with ESPN. So they sold the Barstool company back to the old owner, Dave Portnoy, for $1. And a little part of me thought it would be funny if, basically these people bought WWE. It didn't work out close to what they thought it was going to be. And I'm not saying they're going to sell it back for $1. But what if they actually sold it back to like a Shane McMahon? And we have like a real life episode of Nitro and Raw where the contract reads McMahon, but it reads Shane McMahon. And I thought that would be something that honestly was pretty funny, and it would fully bring him back into the wrestling company. I know he's been kind of like as a producer slash entertainer, a guy that just it's content for them as a wrestler, I guess you can say. But for him to really be back on the business side, because we never ever really knew what Shane's job was after he came back around WrestleMania 32. The big story was that he was one of the producers of that Rumble that he came back in, but he ended up putting the shine on himself more than anybody else. He got a lot of heat backstage for the end of that Rumble, and WWE had to like, hey, go home. We don't need you. But I don't know. Tell me what you guys see of this deal. I honestly think it's going to be better. I think as a whole, I think that WWE is only going to get. I'm not saying it's going to be better. No guarantees here. This has nothing to do with what they put on television. It has nothing to do with the content that they're going to be writing, the wrestlers that they're going to be signing. There is more money in there, I think, to grow the company as a whole, to bring more people in and train them to be wrestlers with the Performance Center. I do think that it is going to be more money for them to sign the best free agents out there on the market, to bring them in. That's something that they're always going to be doing. It doesn't matter where they come from. If they can come to WWE and they can perform, they're going to take chances on those guys, because they would rather have them on their roster, even if it's in a lesser role, than have them kicking ass on like an Impact or a Ring of Honor or AEW or something like that. They're going to be like, hey, the grass is always greener over here. We're going to give you an opportunity. What you do with that opportunity is up to you. But and most people, because they grew up as a WWE fan, they come to WWE to see what the cards holds for them in the foreseeable future. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be bigger. I think that WWE is probably going to be around more than likely longer than I am around. And I won't have this investment that long, I'll tell you that much. But who knows what it could grow to here. From here, it's one of the funnest things about the stock market. I have learned to invest in things that I know over things that I don't know, that I hear on the internet, because of the people out there that just put things out there to, the whole Mr. Zach Morris deal. I can't remember what his little group was called. But basically, they bought stock, then they hyped it up, then they sold it, and then the stock would always crash because they were selling shit. So we'll see where we go from here. But as of right now, TKO Investor, day number 1.